Hey guys, real quick, just want to talk to you about the next step in the process. At this point, you've done the invite, you've done the 3-step setup, the presentation has ended, and now what we're going to do is we're going to simply ask the prospect to get started, okay? Here's the deal, guys. Number one reason people don't get started in our business after we show them what we're doing is no one asked them to get started. See, and if you're doing presentations and you're doing all the inviting and you're getting people to look at this and you're not asking them to get started, you're working for free. And we don't work for free. Obviously, we're in this business to earn some money, so you've got to ask people to get started, okay? That's the number one rule. You've got to ask. And on average, you're going to have to ask the person 3.2 times to get started. So, you know, the number one thing to understand is that closing starts long before the presentation. It starts in your invite. It starts in your belief in the company, belief in the industry, belief in yourself, belief in where you're going. And where that comes from is plugging into our corporate trainings, our regional trainings, our big national events, plugging into the Advantage program and being around the campfire, being on the calls, being around people who are winning. You're going to become who you hang out with, and you're going to take on their attitudes. So when people know you're going somewhere, they'll follow. When you're needy and you're a beggar, they're repelled by that. So the bottom line is, when we're showing people, once again, we don't care if they come with us or not. We know where we're going. If your goal is to be an IMD, you're already an IMD. It's just a matter of who's coming with you. If your goal is to get your lifestyle bonus, you're already getting that bonus. So whether this person says yes or no is irrelevant. But what's going to happen is when the presentation is over, we're simply going to make a positive statement like, now you can see what I'm so excited about, or that was awesome, wasn't it? And then we're going to simply ask them the closing question. And the closing question is as simple as, are you ready to get started? Or you can go to give them a high five if that's your personality and say, you're coming with us, aren't you? It's that simple, guys. And you simply ask them, are you ready to get started? After you ask the closing question, that's it. You do not speak. You wait for them to answer. At that point, silence is golden. You just let them make their decision. You let them say whatever they're going to say. Now, if they say, yes, I'm ready to get started, I'm going to highly recommend you have a paper application. You can print these off in your back office. There's a membership application for the travel club. There's also a rep application. You have both of those in your folder with you. You should sit next to your person if you're at a big shot event. You're crazy if you don't sit next to your people. If you're at a travel party, sit next to your person. Obviously, if you're at a 2-on-1 or a 1-on-1, you're sitting next to your person. You simply ask them the question, are you ready to get started? If they say yes, you simply slide them the form, slide them a pen, and say, cool, fill that out. And then you shut up and you let them fill the form out. Now, a lot of times they're gonna, when you ask that closing question, are you ready to get started? They're gonna say yes, but, or they're gonna have some sort of objection, okay? This video is not designed to teach you exactly how to overcome all the objections. I highly recommend you plug into our trainings to learn that. Also, there's a CD you can get called App Time, done by Scott Ross, who's an international marketing director. You can also get it on our Advantage program, where you have access to all the training information and all the videos and all the audios from all the trainings that have been done over the course of the company, the best of the best, and you can literally listen to this stuff over and over. I would recommend turning your car into a university on wheels. You become a master closer. This is just to go through the basics, okay? So when it's over, we ask them, are you ready to get started? If they come up with any objection at all, what we're going to do is we're just basically, we don't want to create any friction. We don't want to argue with people. We're simply going to say, hey, I hear you, or I get you, I hear where you're coming from. And we're going to ask them a question, because whoever's asking the questions is in control. And the question we're going to ask them is, cool, I hear where you're coming from. If they say they don't have the money, hey, I hear where you're coming from. But let me ask you this, what did you like best about what you saw? Was it the travel, the money, or both? Now, if they say money or both, then I'm going to go on to the next question, which I'll tell you in a second. If they say travel, I'm just going to simply ask them, cool, I like that too. Are you open to making a little bit of extra money? If they say yes, boom, I go to this next question. And the next question is, you know, do you want to make a little bit of money or a lot of money? Doesn't matter what they say. I'm simply going to ask them at that point, what would you do with the money? And they're going to tell me some things. Hey, I would pay off my student loans. I would save for a house. I would keep my kids home from daycare. And then I'm going to say, what else? And then I'm going to say, what else? Until they sort of don't have any other, they can't come up with something quickly. And so I'm going to ask them, you know, they'll have 3 or 4 things, and I'm just going to ask them, well, how much money would that cost to do all those things? You know, to remodel the house, to pay off your loans, to do all that. I'm going to ask them for a rough dollar amount. They're going to tell me amount. Let's say they say $10,000. I say, cool, how much of that do you have saved so far? And in most cases, the answer is going to be 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply say, hey, you don't mind me helping you get that money so that you can do X, so that you can remodel the kitchen, so you can keep the kids home from daycare. You don't mind me helping you do that, do you? Well, of course not. Great, let's lock arms and do this. Are you ready to get started? And I hand them the paper. Okay, so the bottom line is, guys, you got to ask 2 or 3 times. Again, you're going to want to go and learn at our training events. You're going to want to get a hold of the information on how to overcome objections. On our Advantage program, there's a phenomenal video where the top leaders, the top $1 million earners are literally overcoming all of the objections that you're going to hear. There's only about 7 or 8 of them. But the main point of this video is to simply get you to ask. When the presentation is over, you've got to ask that person to get started, and you've got to ask them in a confident way. And if you do that, you're going to have a lot of success helping people get started. And the best part is, we're not asking them to do anything that we don't think is going to benefit for them. We know one thing: if they become part of our club, they're going to grow as a person. They're going to have more fun. They're going to have more freedom. They have a chance to earn some extra money. They even have a chance that if they follow our system to make some serious income and radically change their lives. So that's what we're asking them to do. We're not really closing them as much as we're opening doors for them. So get good at asking, get comfortable, and follow these steps, and you're going to have a great ratio of people getting started and joining you in your business.